What's up, guys? Welcome back to Esk8Exchange, a show where we talk about e-skate, electric skateboard industry, MBoards, anything in the e-skate industry we really want to talk about. We talk about it here.
James is doing kung fu.
Yeah,
James,
I'm a kung fu master. Sorry,
loose for the show.
Like normal, we've got
bro.
James,
What's
Jacob
up?
in the studio. Milo's actually on his bed today.
Yeah,
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, which is nice.
And then we got Maddie behind camera, writing our show, doing all the crazy camera things. So get out of the way. A couple updates for MBoards.
Yep.
A couple great updates, actually. One, we're like this close to actually having stock of batteries.
Yes.
Like we've been operating off of like a made-to-order type of thing.
Yep. There's a nice little pile over there right now, bro.
Martin is kicking ass so much that we're gonna actually have batteries shipped same or next day.
Yep.
Which
That's
is
awesome.
wild.
Yeah. There's a
which
nice
once we advertise that, he might have trouble keeping up. So we'll have to like
bam.
we'll have to keep our website we'll have to keep our website very updated so people know if they're going to get it same next day or if it needs to get made. But otherwise, though, our lead times are just shrinking rapidly. It's
pretty cool.
So that's super cool. I'm really excited about that. Two, our CNCing is going well. This is my first motor mount. Looks pretty good.
Yep.
A couple of adjustments need to be made. I had some slight misalignment for Op 2, but we'll get through it. Not a big deal, but it's a functional part.
It works, bro.
So it wouldn't pass like QC necessarily, but like it's functional and we can use it for our own personal
Totally
builds.
would work, yeah.
Yep.
Or maybe we'll throw it on like the U side or something. But yeah, no, it was it's pretty cool.
Yeah, that thing is pretty cool. It does everything, and then you get to thread everything too.
Yeah,
that's
so
pretty cool. The whole threading process.
I came in by myself on Monday, Labor Day. Which, but depending on when this episode airs, whatever. But I came here by myself on Labor Day, and I was like, you know what? I haven't threaded a hole yet. I've been doing all these tests. I haven't done any tapping, so I got the compression head tapping head, and it works.
Yeah.
It looks great. It works.
That's always good. It's nice when shit works, huh?
Yeah, it's like I have like an Allen wrench and an M4 screw right here, and I've been testing each thread, making sure like you can torque them down and the threads don't strip or anything.
So we're gonna
give
sell
it to
that
me.
bracket?
I'll strip it.
You'll strip.
Right?
I mean, if you want to try to strip
it,
it,
it could strip, bro.
It'll strip.
We gonna sell that bracket or what?
We're gonna sell this thing.
I think you put
wanna-
that shit on the wall.
Maybe do it, or maybe give it away to a customer. I mean, not a customer, but a viewer or something.
I'm gonna try making another one today.
Okay.
So at least I'll have a pair of
that
them.
one better be perfect.
Let's hope.
Listen, you made 3 heat sinks, and then
It took the third heat sink to get that one right.
Yeah.
And still, I'm gonna do one more
Do
revision.
we have one that's like
Perfect.
done?
A heat sink, I don't know.
Because the last one I think was the one with the extra hole.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, that's the one. So version 2 looked pretty good.
Yes.
Version 2.1 with the larger fins, I'm not even gonna do it. It's not even worth it. Yeah, I like the more fins.
Yeah, it looks better.
I think it looks better. I think we are gonna try one where it's like a big piece of metal. But anyways, so that's pretty good. I think we're
CNC machine. We're pumping shit
we're
out.
Getting there. So
getting ready.
As soon as we can get motor mounts like looking perfect off the line, I'm gonna start pumping them out because we need to start actually producing parts on this thing
and then make some trucks.
Yeah, well, that's a tough one.
I know.
We'll figure it out.
Gotta keep pushing for it. I want to see a set of trucks, man.
Yeah, it'd be fun. So anyway, so we'll get that going. I'd like to. We have a whole batch of outsourced parts showing up. So we'll have a lot of those still to sell for a while we perfect these. Because I really don't want to sell anything that's got issues like this. I mean, really, we're talking
Is that really an issue, Jacob? Would you consider that blemished?
It's just cosmetic.
It's cosmetic. It's just like a little line that you can feel.
Yeah.
No, there's no structural issue there.
No.
But
Honestly, by the time this is anodized and potentially sandblasted, you probably won't feel it anymore. But still,
you could probably
Toss it
clean
over here.
that line as it is, but it just
seems pretty light
again,
too, bro.
it's the first freaking try, you know?
First try. Much better than my first try on the heat sink.
You did. Yeah,
and you know what? It's interesting on this part. It's actually, it's a flat part, so it's not that complex, but like it's quite complex to program that one.
Yeah.
Because of the how tight some of those channels are to get an 1/8 inch end mill in there. It was kind of tough.
Like spikes that come off so they can be
Stare
like ninja
Ninja
stars
Star?
when you take it off.
Remember?
My melt broke. Watch.
we found some e-skate parts of like a month and a half ago, dude, that we turned into Ninja Stars.
Yeah.
And we did not throw them at any walls.
Man, he still doesn't
Yes, we did
It
not
was-
throw those at any walls.
I think
No
she
walls
knows
were
about it.
damaged.
we found some like extra like anti-sink plates and they're all pointed on the
Yeah,
corners.
it's like sharp.
They're they're so sharp.
I think Jacob took one and just whipped it at the
I go,
drywall.
this might work.
Yep, and it's stuck.
Stuck in the drywall.
And we may or may not have thrown a couple more, but it's all right.
It's on the warehouse. It's okay.
Yeah.
They throw them at each
yeah.
other though, so
Nah.
that's good.
Yeah.
But it's just funny.
Yep.
Boys will be boys.
Okay, so enough about the CNC machine. I'm
Okay.
sure half of you guys are just like, oh god,
Right,
the CNC
shut up. We
machine
don't
again.
care. We love it. It's cool.
It's fun. Okay, another big thing is we had this idea by the way, if you're not part of the Discord server yet,
Yeah.
link in the
What are you
description
doing with
below.
your life?
Because we're talking about a lot of
Get
this
in
stuff
there.
on Discord. There's a whole channel dedicated to the convention, which is what we're about to talk about. So I had this idea about doing like Esk8 Olympics almost.
Yeah.
Where we're trying to potentially get together like teams for each, because we got a lot of countries coming this year.
Yes.
We've got obviously the US, we've got Canada, we've got Australia, UK, and I think
our guys from Portugal will come back.
maybe
Hunter?
potentially.
Yes.
So anyway, we're gonna have a few different countries show up. So I'm like, okay, maybe. Oh, Australia's in there. I don't know if I mentioned that.
You said Australia.
Okay. Anyway, I figured who? Yeah, Australia. I don't know. Anyway, so I figured, well, it would be kind of cool to like get a team together for each of those countries and do like a group event
That'd be cool.
where we could award like literally gold, silver, bronze
really
medals.
cool.
Do it
for
like
each.
Revenge of the Nerds style, where you have to like you gotta chug beers
Oh,
and then
God.
ride your trike, but maybe
Oh,
you have to
gosh.
like ride your board on your.
Could
butter.
you imagine us chugging beers and it's taking off on Esk8? We would have every single one of our wives yelling at us before we even started.
Yeah.
I
to
guess Maddie's
win?
over
They
there
would be
shaking her head.
encouraging us
Yes.
to win.
Yes.
Drink your beer
Yes.
faster.
Stay
Drink faster.
liquid. There's water in that beer.
Yeah.
There's a little.
So I'm
Some
I was
veggies.
thinking more like a relay, like a short drag race, a
Okay.
longer form,
Okay.
like a long race, more like a normal lapped race,
Okay.
stuff like that. Because they're
Like
almost all
each-
gonna be
Each
races.
member of the team would have like their own individual event, and then there would be one group event.
Group,
that
like,
And
everyone
then I love
participated
like so you know how they have like the pole jump where you got to jump over the pole. I like do like a hippie jump so we could set up cones and
Oh,
then just
God.
a little PVC pole and hippie jump over and see who could clear the pole the highest. I bet you ain't nobody gonna jump 5 feet, but that's a cool one. I know how to
That'd be
do
cool.
that. Can you guys hippie jump?
No.
Nope.
Oh,
even
you're
gonna try
saying
it.
you're
yeah,
saying
so
just,
you're on the board and then you just jump over the pole while the board keeps going. You got to land back on it.
Oh, yeah, we can do that.
Right,
That'd be
that's
cool.
called the
He
hippie
said
jump.
You just.
Yeah,
You
you
just-
All
just.
you do.
You just
That's like a you just is one word.
jump up and over it.
No big
It's
deal.
just
It's
this.
just some
Yeah.
casual. Listen, Bodie Harrison does it on a one wheel. That man, and
Gravity
he's
affects
jumping.
me different, bro.
It
It
does.
just- it just
Gravity
works
doesn't
differently.
even let you leave the
I
floor.
come down a lot faster than most people.
Well, remember, he had hit his board in reverse one time, and his legs went up, and actually gravity affected him so much that just his legs moved. The rest of his body didn't, and then he boom hit the floor. So maybe you shouldn't participate in that one.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
no
so
tricks.
another guy on the Discord, I can't remember the name. Sorry for anyone whoever suggested it.
me
They
to
said
pull it up?
There's some
we-
crazy
They
names
said
on
it'd be
there.
cool. No one's real names on there. It doesn't even
okay.
matter. It's all screen names.
Yeah.
But someone said it'd be cool to do the same idea with the states. Like that's kind of interesting
Okay.
too. Interesting. So we're
We'd
trying
have a
to
lot
figure it
more
out.
teams.
Problem is, I don't know if we have enough time for all this. So we have to really pick and choose what we want to do. Obviously, there'll still be an individual sport. Like there'll
Yes.
still be
I think
individual
it should
stuff.
just be teams.
Just teams this year. Change
I
it
think
up.
it should just be teams. I mean not. That's not what I meant. I don't think you should do it by location.
Okay.
Because I think if there's two, like, think about how many different groups from California are going to want to have a team.
Yeah,
Right,
no, I get it.
I can
I get
imagine.
it.
And then
Four.
not everyone's going to be able to do it. So if you
Yeah.
open it up to teams and you had to have a team of 5 and that was the only qualification, you could have
Okay.
a couple teams out of California. You could have a
Cool.
couple teams out of
That's
Yeah.
true. Yeah, you could do it too, where you have multiple teams from multiple countries, and then just your country
So
has
are we
the
thinking
opportunity
about
to
are we
podium more than
thinking
once.
About a team of 5 or
I'm not gonna. I can't do it.
You can't. I'm gonna participate.
You
Jacob.
participating?
I have no
I
idea.
feel like I can't participate.
I will. I want to
just
try
gonna
to
keep our team
participate
down.
in most of this. I'm going to try to do the race this year.
Okay.
If we do the Olympics, I'm going to try to do that. I'm going to try to I'm going to bring.
So we'll figure it
I'm
out.
bringing MBoards home a trophy, man.
Yeah. Okay.
up?
All right,
right.
home
Yeah,
team.
something.
That'd be cool.
Home teams.
Yeah,
Yeah, home team advantage. We
Yep.
get to we'll
We
know.
need a
problem
trophy.
Problem is we'll like know what the kind of the course is going to be like way ahead of time.
I know, huh?
Probably.
It won't matter for James.
It won't.
It probably not. You're right.
It won't. Listen,
He'll
if
forget, yeah.
if I don't come in first, I'm wrecking. You guys
We'll
already
make
know
him
that.
go backwards the whole time.
Right.
We'll secretly at the end be like,
You know
nah,
what
man,
I'd
it
love
goes the
to
other
do
way.
is get like a slide challenge. Who can slide the farthest?
That'd be cool.
I
That's
think
a good
think all of these things need to happen, and they need to go on a schedule, so that way we're following just
Right.
like
Yep.
a sequence of events, right? Like we sort of talked about it last year, but we also knew that there would be some chaos, and
Yep.
there were
Yeah.
definitely enough people asking like, "What's coming up next? What are we? What's
Yeah.
next?" And
Well,
it was
we're gonna
kind
have
of
a
like,
very detailed
we're
schedule
gonna
this
open the
year.
track, but then like the track just stayed open all day. So,
All day.
so
Right.
there were
It was
you know,
a
there
little
were
more
times,
chaos last year.
right,
though.
where I think we could have maybe
Minimal
controlled
chaos,
the
but
chaos
some
to get
chaos.
some more interaction instead of just everybody walking around. You know?
Yes.
Right.
I think we learned.
So
quite
I think
a
we
few
do those things,
lessons.
right? We do like noon on Saturday is the slide contest, and this
Yeah.
is where it's going to be. And if you want to go watch or participate,
That's where it'll be.
you need to sign up and you go out there, and then it's over at 12:45.
Yep.
Right.
If you show up
Done.
at 1 and you're like, "Hey, dude, I want to
Yeah,
slide,"
like,
like,
sorry,
oh,
bro.
And your
okay.
slot is at
Yeah.
12:03, and if you
Yeah.
miss it, you miss it.
Right,
Sorry,
like
bro.
like
That's it.
keeping up on things like that. So I think
Yeah.
that would be cool.
Cool. All right. Interesting.
Yeah, great, good
let's. So we're gonna dive right into some
Okay.
comments.
I love reading the comments.
Told you, man.
Yes.
We always.
These are always first
oh, man.
time
I
for me.
remember reading this one. I wish I had this one the other.
I can
okay.
read him if it's too
Yeah,
small for
I
you
could
guys.
read it, but it's a little small.
Okay,
Go ahead.
so he says he carries a 13-gallon trash bag on all of his rides because it folds up so small. Because this was on the episode where you guys were talking about getting caught in the rain.
Yes.
That's smart.
Mhm.
That's smart. I didn't think
It
about
is.
that. Now
It rains
it
once
rains
a year.
never
Yeah.
here, so
Yeah.
it wouldn't. But if I lived somewhere where it rained often, I would
And it
absolutely
was,
bring
it
that.
was
For
like
sure, that'd be a good one.
95 or 98.
It wasn't even
when
supposed to
was
rain.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You might as well
Yeah,
add
no,
it to your
I-
shit kit.
But it
Yeah.
is
Yes.
like
Oh, that's a good name for it.
I like that.
I
Oh,
like that.
shit
Yeah.
kit.
I call it my go bag, but the
Yeah,
oh
the
shit kit is actually much better.
Yeah. What were you saying,
We need to
Jacob?
market
I think
that.
if it's raining enough that you even need to bring a trash bag, like I'm not riding.
Probably not.
yeah,
gonna ride.
probably right.
But a 13-gallon trash bag.
That's
That's pretty
smart,
I get it.
though.
I mean,
That's a
I
good
guess
one.
you don't have a choice.
All right, what do we got? How long until the Endurance becomes available for purchase?
There we go. What's up, Jeremy?
Well, we're just waiting on decks
Yeah,
at this
Mike,
point.
how long?
We're just waiting on decks.
Wait, as soon as they get here, Jacob's gonna be putting them together. And
Yep.
Yep.
I've been saying like a month forever. I got to double check with them.
we're just waiting on it.
We're just waiting on decks. We're just waiting on decks, and that's all we're waiting on.
China.
We've got everything else. I mean,
China.
that's it.
Yeah, everything's there.
Yep.
This one's small.
This
I
one's a
know.
little small.
So most gear drives have a plastic POM drive gear that shatters. I've done a few, so haven't experienced lockup. Not sure on metal drives what would happen, but most likely the pinion would strip.
Okay, so this is in response to
Is
John Davey,
John,
no
what up,
wonder.
John? Is that John from the UK?
Yeah.
What's up, John? Shout out. He's cool, man.
He is cool.
Yeah,
he's
super cool.
he's been on gear drives for a long time. I
Mhm.
think
Guy
this
knows
is his
way
last-
more than we do
That's his
about
shit
yeah.
for
But-
sure. If he said something, I would run with it.
Yeah.
His word's probably gold on that. What is he saying? So
Yeah, was he asking a question or was he just commenting?
Well, there was a question mark at the end of it. I think he
Okay.
was questioning whether or not the pinion would strip. but-
I don't know.
Oh, I don't know.
I mean, the main reason
People ride on plastic all the time.
Yeah, I think as far as if you're something is stripping, it's because you have it out of alignment.
Right.
It's
Mhm.
not just gonna explode.
Yeah.
Now they write some serious shit.
Yeah,
though,
yeah.
so-
Right.
Whatever John says on that one is
Um,
probably
I
what his
don't know.
answer would
Like
be.
the Super Beast setup uses acetate, which is kind of
Okay.
like Delrin, kind of like, but it's really nice plastic.
Okay.
It's better than nylon. It's really nice. So we haven't had any problems, or they, I guess, have not had
Okay.
any problems with stripping or breaking or heat issues or anything
Mhm.
like that. Now they did, I think, switch to nylon for a brief second, and they had problems. So they
Okay.
switched back to the acetate, and it
Yep.
was much better. So
There we go.
no problems.
Okay, so I read this whole thing, and it's the baby powder shampoo topic.
Yes, and
Okay.
so this came
this
in as an
from-
email. This is
Okay.
Emilio.
Okay.
He sent us an email. He was at Esk8Con,
Yeah,
actually.
I
What's
remember
up?
him.
And then Fred also jumped in and basically said the same thing.
Okay, so
Oh, nice. He was at Esk8Con.
if you didn't watch one of the last episodes, we
Yeah.
were talking about
Make sure
Esk8
you go
myths.
watch it real quick, then come back.
Talking about Esk8 myths, and one of them was about using boiling water
can you-
to fix tires.
Yes.
So anyway, one thing led to another. We talked about a dish soap and a baby, powder
solution.
solution potentially.
I thought it was like a MacGyver.
We weren't
something
sure
special I didn't know.
how you use that. We didn't know how that
Someone
applied.
had just
Okay.
mentioned I already tried that trick to balance my wheels. I was like, well, what trick
Right,
is
what
that?
trick is that?
And
So
Yeah,
anyway,
which
so
trick?
here's an explanation of that trick.
Yeah.
Pretty much, the short version of this email is that they cover the tube with baby powder, so that way when it's inflating within the tire, it doesn't bind or get tangled up. It
Right.
like will slide around in there
Slide,
nicely. And then the dish soap, I can't remember.
Shampoo is spread on the lip area so it sits evenly on the rim edge during inflation.
Interesting.
Okay.
So right, so you're pretty much just
can
preventing
also
your
use
tires.
So
from,
he
Yeah.
feels like
Yeah.
they help mounting the tires in tubes, but
Mhm.
he sees no impact on
On the-
balancing.
yeah.
No, that
the-
wouldn't. That wouldn't.
Yeah,
The
so-
only thing would be is if your tire did or your tube did get like tangled up inside,
Mhm.
that could cause some kind of wobble, I suppose, because it would just be so uneven.
Yeah.
But honestly, I think the odds of that actually happening is so slim.
Do we have a couple tires that have got any wobble in them? I'll take them home tonight, dude, and boil them.
We're going to boil them here at the shop.
We are going to be filming a video.
We're making a video.
It's funny, we've talked about this. So I follow a lot of mountain biking stuff, and there's a few mechanics that I follow, and he just kind of put one up about Maxxis tires, which is a very, very popular mountain bike tire.
Okay.
And he's spinning the tire, and it is just dancing like this.
Okay.
Oh,
and basically his comment was, I've done so many of these tires lately, and all the casings are shit. Like 3 out of 10 tires, they're just running like crazy.
Wobble.
So I do think it's tire manufacturing defects.
I do as well.
And they're just not good anymore.
Right.
Okay.
They just suck.
So I guess we'll just test it just to put that
to see, because
that to bed.
What we'll be doing is heating that rubber up so it softens, right?
Right.
And then once you have to figure out how we're going to set it down, because you can't set it down on something flat because you don't want to create flat spots on one side, right?
I would think you would
set it
hang
so
it.
that it can. Yeah, it
I
needs
think
to
you'd hang it.
It needs to hang that way. It all just kind of stays softened like that. It doesn't harden back up to that weird.
Or do you try to mount it on a wheel and inflate it while it's hot? I don't know.
I just feel like you could end up just as easily making it worse.
Worse.
Yeah,
Totally.
right.
We'll test it.
We
We'll try
could.
it.
If it's going to be hot enough to change shape,
I
why is it
I
going
don't
to
think
change shape
that.
in the
I
right
think
direction?
I don't think it's going to be moldable.
Yeah, that's what I was saying.
I don't think it'll be moldable. Well, we're going to test it. We'll figure it out. Yeah, we're going to find out. All right. What's up? What's next?
He said truth or myth for you.
Okay.
He only rides his board in front wheel drive.
Myth.
Says he has better braking and 0 speed wobbles.
That's hilarious.
Wow,
bro.
that's an interesting one. We could test that. We could just change the programming on our boards really quick.
Yeah.
And ride it backwards.
Yeah. Your boards do have reverse. That was
I mean, my
nice.
bushing setup isn't quite right for reverse, but
I don't think that just because you have front wheel drive, it's going to make it so you don't get a speed wobble.
let's try it. Let's test it.
Yeah.
I don't know, man.
Are we going to build a front wheel drive board?
We just got to change bushings around, and then we just got to reverse our motor direction, and then that's it. That's all we have to do.
Yeah. Who's going to test this?
I'll write it.
Jacob.
Oh, James.
Yeah, right.
I'll write it. At least I'll try
dummy.
it.
Yeah.
I'll at least try it. I'm not going to go full send. I'm not going to send it and get speed wobbles over
But you
it.
need to get the speed wobbles. You have to go that fast.
No, I'm not doing that.
Yeah.
No.
You know what sucks is the speed wobbles on a longboard is just horrible. You almost can't save it. Once that thing whips once or twice, that back end, you're just along for the ride, and it's just gonna whip around, bro.
Yeah.
That's why like
The only way I believe is to speed up.
Yeah, right.
And no one does that.
No, well, because the hard thing is they say speed up and lean forward. Well, the problem is when you do that on a longboard, and you lean forward, it whips more.
Yeah.
It's like an out of control sports car, bro. After you've lost the back end and you're just fucking hanging on for dear life, praying to God you don't wreck your dad's car because it's your 16th-year-old birthday night and you got to take it out on
experience?
No, dude, I didn't live this at all. This did not happen to me.
When did you first steal your dad's car?
No, dude,
Have you guys ever stolen your parents' car?
Yeah, a couple times.
Really?
Bro. Yeah,
I never did.
I took my mom's my mom's Porsche out on New Year's, and she told me, do not take this car out tonight.
Porsche, huh?
I know that you're going to.
Nice.
Do not take it. She hid the keys. She knew it was going to happen. Me and two of my buddies, we had a couple parties to go to. I found the keys. We hopped in the Porsche. Ended up getting pulled over.
Nice.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. The cop said I didn't clock you, but I'm pretty sure you flew past me at about 130, and I was like, I don't know what you're talking about. And he was like, license and registration. And so I gave him everything. He's like, I know this isn't your car. And I was like, no, it's my mom's. I'm actually on my way to take it to her right now. She can't drive, so I'm going to get her to drive her home. She wants to ride home in style. And he's like, why do you have two of your friends in the car? Who would pass up on this opportunity? So I just told the lie, and he actually ended up letting me go.
No shit.
Yeah, because he ended up getting some other call that was more important than mine, and he said, this is your lucky night, kid. Go get your mom and go home.
Oh, geez.
And so I told my mom that story, and she laughed her ass off, and I was grounded for a week. Shout out to my mom. She's super cool.
Oh my
I
gosh.
stole my dad's car when I was like 14.
Yeah.
14. Wow. Where'd you go?
14, but all my friends were older, so it was like they had cars.
Yeah, I wasn't
And they're
even,
like,
I
hey,
wasn't,
we're going to the beach. I'm like,
Yeah.
well, I can't get there.
Okay.
So, all right, well, I'll just take this one.
You drove it at 14?
Yeah.
Nah, I don't think I was doing that
You get
yet.
caught?
No, I never got caught.
No?
My dad claimed he knew.
Yeah.
But I was like, bullshit.
Yeah, I wasn't taking the cars out till about 16 and a half, 17.
When I moved to Texas, I would take my mom's Beamer.
Yeah.
That thing was bad.
Ooh.
So one of my buddies lived on in the back country, of course.
Okay.
And had just this long, straight road to get to his house.
Yeah.
I'd been on it like twice. just to get to it. So of course the third time it was when I had taken my mom's car.
Borrowed it with the intent to return, guys.
Made sure, as we used to say, we clear the cobwebs out, and that thing was a V12. Ooh, so it was like 140, 150, boat, and I just see the most massive pothole I've ever seen in my life, and it's in the dead middle of the road.
Oh no!
And it's like one of those where you're like, oh shit, already passed it, and it went right down the middle of the car, and literally it was 6 feet wide, so my tires were on the edges of it. I drove back by it on my way home, and it was massive. So gnarly. Wow. They don't take care of these roads.
They don't,
tractors and crap.
Oh, in Texas?
Back country roads.
That was fun.
So lucky you didn't wreck the vehicle. So lucky.
Came home, the thing was wicked hot. My parents came home like an hour later. They're like,
did they smell the car?
Yeah, why?
It's still like still making those little popping sounds.
And I was like, I had to park it outside to work in the garage, and I forgot to put it back in.
Yeah.
And my dad's like, no. I was like, okay, no, I'm just kidding.
I never stole any cars.
No,
never borrowed any cars.
My mom told me the story about how she stole her dad's car, her and her sister, when they were kids, 15 and a half, and then they put on 100 miles, and they came home and jacked it up and put it in reverse and stayed on the accelerator for about an hour and a half trying to take miles back, and they figured out that it wasn't going to work, and they ended up getting caught.
All they had to do was watch Ferris Bueller's Day Off.
This was back this was way. I don't think that movie was out then, bro. This was back when my mom was like 15.
They really tried that.
Yeah, they tried it, bro, and it didn't work.
It adds miles on, doesn't it?
I don't know,
I
dude.
have no idea.
I can't remember the whole story. I remember her telling me that.
Do miles get added in reverse? It must.
Well, this was back in the day, bro. This was back in the day when you could use a gun to like click your odometer back, bro.
How does the odometer get measured?
Well, now it's digital. But back then it was like a physical, I don't know.
Analog or whatever.
I don't know. Anyways.
Sorry. Funny stories from the past, guys.
No, it's all good. Okay, so back on topic. Let's write this train here. So Martin and I went down to Boulder City, which is kind of like the city like right next to Lake Mead.
Yeah.
Or Puddle Mead.
It's a suburb of Vegas.
Yeah. So we went down there to ride down there, little downtown, which literally we rode that whole thing in like a minute and a half.
That's why
it's
so
short.
Were over there.
3 streets.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. So it was a good time. But then, Martin was like, you know what? I don't think I like carbon decks. I'm like, I was like, oh my God.
You take that back right now, Martin.
I was like, what?
Really?
So he goes, I just think I like a stiffer wooden deck that's got a tiny bit of
a little bit of flex.
A little bit.
Huh.
I'm like, okay. I'm like, it's all personal preference. But
it is. That's interesting.
Anyways, that's him right here. And I actually, that's not his exact board, but he's got pretty much his exact board right here.
He's got the old.
He's got the Interstellar. And he likes it, but he doesn't like the endurance as much as far as the deck goes. He likes the battery, the motors, the speed controller, all that. Yeah. The horsepower in that thing, way better.
Yep.
But the actual deck itself.
That's interesting.
So he's actually going to be building himself a new battery pretty soon.
Okay. Cool.
Anyway, so
Martin,
we're all
just
carbon people.
I think he couldn't do anything wrong. I thought Martin was freaking perfect.
Yeah, it's all good. So, anyways, comment down below. Are you a carbon person? Are you a bamboo or maple or whatever? Well, what do you like? What do you like?
I think it actually all depends because a while ago when I was sliding your bamboo GTR, it was almost better to slide that bamboo GTR than it is to slide my carbon. So you know what, Martin? Yeah, kind of right.
Maybe.
Yeah. So I think though. If you're going to slide and do certain things, and there's definitely better boards than others.
Yes.
But if you're just going on a daily ride, I just prefer a nice, solid platform.
I like a nice, solid
I don't know about the durability of the bamboo sliding, things like that. But just to ride on a daily basis is probably all right.
Yeah. All right. So, Maddie, this is a new topic, actually. This is a new thing.
Yes.
People writing in problems.
Ooh.
Problems we're having.
We're going to try to solve it.
We're going to try to solve it. Okay. So
you can read that one.
I'll read it. Yeah, I can read it.
Okay.
So-and-so says, I don't know their name. I have a Stormcore 60 Plus. When I turn on my board, it always runs in reverse.
Oops.
I have my smart reverse disabled and have looked through my settings and can't identify why this would be happening. Please help. Okay, so I have a follow-up question, which I'll not get the answer to because they're not actually here right now, obviously. Does it always reset back to being in reverse every time you turn the board off?
Yes.
Okay.
I actually know that. Yes.
Oh, you do. Okay. So
this was a excerpt.
So sometimes the software when you pick your motor direction in the software for whatever reason, sometimes I don't know what does it or what chip has a problem with it, but sometimes it will not save that direction. Super weird. So the only way to actually change it is to unplug 2 of your phase wires and then trade spots and switch them.
Oh.
And then it'll default when it resets to reverse every time you turn it on. It'll reset to forward.
Okay.
Which is exactly
So not, so you can't
not a big
just
deal.
run a simple motor detection on it.
So you just
You
switch
can. You
your
just
blue
got-
and red wire, right?
Either one. Any two.
Any of them, it doesn't matter.
two will change the direction of your motor.
Okay.
So we get that question all the time with our basic ESCs. People plug in their motors and they go, "Oh, it's the wrong way. How do I change this?" And you just go reverse.
And that's it.
Done.
Simple.
Okay,
there you go, bro.
So that's all you'd have. That's all you'd have
gal,
to do.
gal or guy.
But it's interesting.
It is annoying.
Most of our problems are actually software related.
It is
This
annoying
one's
though
not.
because it is kind of a software bug a little bit because it always it's resetting to a specific direction.
Okay.
Doesn't matter if he changes it, saves it. When he turns his board off, back on, it changes. It happens. So
And only every once in a while Stormcore does this, or
no, sometimes it's just a particular unit will do it.
okay.
And it's not just storm cores. It's I've had it
All sorts
happen
of
on all
Esks.
sorts of Esks.
Yeah.
So I don't know what it is, but it's just for whatever reason it can't remember the direction of the motors and it resets to a particular direction.
Okay, gotcha.
So the only way you can combat it is to physically change the wire so it resets to forward, which is fine. Works totally fine. So anyways, okay, we got a don't be this guy this week.
They do.
Okay.
Yes.
Whoa! No, what is this?
It's a MeePo battery.
It was a MeePo
It
battery.
was.
So
That
this is
is rust.
out of the shrink wrap
What
and
the
everything. So
hell?
he claims that he rode through puddles now and then.
Yeah.
But it wasn't anything serious. He just never opened up his board, but over time, condensation had built up in there to
that's
the
a nice
point
amount
where
of
they
rust.
labeled this. So open your boards up.
Hold
now
on,
and
hold
then.
on, hold on. Is the nickel rusting? Is
Is
that what we see?
I don't know.
'Cause I can tell you why. Is that if that's what we think it is?
It does appear
If
that the
that's
nickel is rusting.
nickel, if that's rust on the nickel, that means they're not using pure nickel. They're
I was
using
just gonna say nickel shouldn't
nickel-plated
rust.
steel, which is bad. You don't want to use that for battery building. You can for smaller, low power applications, not a big deal. But for high power applications, pure nickel can carry so much more current than plated steel.
It would
That looks like
appear to me that the nickel
That's
is
what that
rusting.
looks
Yeah,
like because I don't
Yeah.
think the battery
I
casings
mean,
would
there's a
really
lot
rust.
going. There's a
but
lot going on, but
it could be more corrosion than rust, but that looks pretty rusty color to me.
The
Is
center
this battery
bottom
still
looks-
functioning?
Yeah, that's the. Do we know?
Oh, I don't know.
Oh,
I don't
man.
know.
Because I would like. I
It
mean,
looks like
honestly,
it
the
would.
battery still functions.
All
like
the
this,
cells
right?
look pretty
really
good,
what,
actually.
What causes malfunctions with water, Mike?
Shorts.
shorts. Yep.
Right. It's not these connections. It's not things like this. It's actual shorts.
Actually, shorts. So, you know what would be fun to do? You can get deionized water.
Yeah.
Because the reason why water is conductive is the ions within the water. But you can get deionized water, and you can actually run electronics in the water, and it doesn't have any it doesn't actually short anything. The problem is the ions from the actual device that's submerged in the water will eventually leak into the water, and then the water will become ionized again, and then it'll short. But momentarily, you could actually submerge a battery in deionized. Well, I don't know about batteries, but PCBs and other electronics for sure.
Yeah.
You can actually submerge in deionized water, and it won't die.
As long as
as
power.
long as it's deionized. No, you can power it.
Yeah.
As long as it's actual deionized water.
Okay.
It's very
Just
interesting.
won't work forever.
Just won't work forever.
But baby oil does.
Yeah, baby oil. You can submerge things
People
in baby oil.
build PCs and then they fill
Completely
up
fill the whole thing up with baby oil.
Almost all my tattoo ink is made from baby oil.
It's probably not baby oil. It's like mineral oil, just certain
Yeah.
oils.
Oh,
in
yeah.
there. Although I believe baby oil is literally just
Because I saw
Baby
someone
oil
build,
and mineral
I
oil.
watched
With some
someone build a
smells.
computer and they made it like SpongeBob themed.
yeah, and it was completely submerged.
It
Yeah,
was all under.
so that's an interesting topic, for potentially cooling
Yeah.
ESCs,
Mineral
submerging
There
them
we
in
go.
oil.
I've
As
seen
long as
that they use a guy used them on a mountain bike again.
Okay.
Instead of his brake fluid
Oh,
that you would usually use like hydraulic fluid.
Yeah, yeah.
almost. He used baby oil and it worked totally fine.
that's cool.
Right? It's thick enough.
Yeah, that's cool. So, anyways, don't get your shit wet.
Yeah.
Don't get
right.
your batteries wet,
just,
man.
just check.
Just get it
I
oily.
think the lesson would be to just check on your stuff now
Yeah.
and then.
Yeah.
For sure.
Because that was a long
Especially if
period
it's-
of time.
My
that it was
guess,
left
my
not
guess is
tended
that
to.
battery stopped working because there's no reason he left it go that long, and then finally
and then all of a
went.
sudden it was like,
Oh,
maybe I
let
should
me
crack
open
this
it.
open.
Right.
Something happened.
Well, and
that-
it sounded like you said it was in an encasing also.
right.
It was shrink wrapped.
Oh, just shrink wrap.
Just shrinked. That's it.
Well, it was also in an enclosure. but
Enclosure.
One that said
Okay.
MeePo on it.
Yeah.
It's a MeePo battery.
No, for sure. That's what it looks like. Yeah. I don't know, man. I would just, it's crazy,
Just check on your shit.
It does
Just
appear
do the
though.
maintenance.
check your shit.
Don't
Take
wait
your
till
stuff
something's
apart.
wrong to.
But I
to
do
look at
check
it.
you.
I do hope MBoards stops using, if they stops using the nickel plated steel. I hope they switch over to pure nickel because nickel's expensive, but it's not that expensive where you can't pay for it. We buy nickel
This could have been old
on a
but
monthly
who knows?
basis, and it's not that. I mean, it's not cheap, but it's not to the point where we have to increase the price of our battery so much to warrant buying pure nickel. So, whatever. That's what I would do. But I'm not MeePo.
Is there a way to test?
There is, so you can actually take
gold.
That's it. You can actually take nickel strips. If you buy nickel strip, you can actually take sandpaper or take a blade and scratch it up really good.
Okay.
And then you could submerge it in like salt water for a day or 2 days, and it'll either rust or it won't. Okay. Or you can take a Dremel tool with like a ceramic bit on it. Okay. And you can start just going to town on it. If it starts sparking, then you know it's steel. If it doesn't spark, it's nickel, and that's the way we do it.
Okay.
We just verify. Every time we get a batch, we grab a Dremel. We try to get it to spark. If it sparks, we've been had by our nickel. We have never had that problem. Okay. It's always been nickel. But otherwise, that's how I would do it. That's how we do it, and that's how I would suggest everyone else do it. Now, obviously, when you have a battery like that, you can't just like, let me take a Dremel, or let me submerge it in salt water. Yeah. You can't really test it. So,
if you buy nickel, buy extra.
Yeah, if you buy nickel, buy extra for sure. But we include 25 pieces in our kits because if you're making a 12.4 or just a 12S battery, I guess in general, you need 24. We include a 25th for either A, you can do a test weld to make sure that you're actually secure on your batteries, make sure they're not like popping off too easy. Right. Or if you mess up and you need an extra.
Yep. Hopefully only mess up one.
Hopefully, only mess up one. Yeah.
You mess up two.
Usually, though, it's to test your settings on your K-Weld or welder or whatever you're using with that extra piece. Make sure you're actually getting good settings and then move on to your rest of your batteries.
Yep. There we go.
But anyways, so that's my little tangent on nickel.
On nickel.
So, what's funny? I got I won't say who. It doesn't really matter. I got a message from someone on Instagram, and they said, dude, I got to ask, are you losing money on nickel? And I'm like, what? And he goes, I don't know, like how your prices are the way they are. I said, I don't know.
Yeah.
He goes,
do you know the plug for nickel, bro?
And I go, I don't know. But I said,
maybe
I don't.
Mike is the plug.
I said, I don't know. I don't think I'm losing.
We had a lot of nickel out there, bro.
We had a lot of nickel right now.
Could be the plug, bro.
So I go, I don't think I am. He goes, when was the last time you bought it? I go, oh, geez, I have to check. He goes, well, prices like tripled in March. I said, oh gosh, let me double check. Well, I had recently bought it in April.
Didn't we just get some?
Yeah, we just got some. I recently had bought it in April. Yeah. So I'm like, oh, I do remember when it got expensive. Yeah. But it just cut into our margins, but it didn't, we weren't losing money on it. And I said, at the time I was like, oh, we might be losing money because sometimes our margins are kind of shitty on certain things, more or less because they ultimately buy other things. So we don't necessarily need to make a ton of money on nickel, for example, when they're going to buy a BMS and all the other things that go along with it. So, but then I looked at it, I'm like, no, we do okay on our nickel. So I don't know if we just have like a really good supplier or what.
Fucking El Chapo of the nickel, bro.
Now what I do want
coming in on speedboats.
Hey, hit us up, yo. We got the nickel.
I do really want to get a laser that'll cut nickel. I do really want to be able to cut our own nickel out of actual nickel sheets. One, we could do custom nickel way easier because when we have to do a custom pack where we have an idea for a new battery orientation, I got to order it. It comes in like 2 weeks later. It's just a pain in the ass. Yeah. And two, we could buy the sheets way, way, way cheaper. We can actually manufacture it ourselves. We could potentially supply it to our other community builders. So I'd like to do that. I got to figure out what laser I need though.
That's probably a little bit down the
I'm pretty
road.
certain I need a fiber laser, but I got to figure out how.
That's the one that cuts grip tape too, right?
It'll cut anything. It'll cut metal.
Well, don't we already have,
we have a CO2 laser.
Oh, okay.
So there's 3 different, there's more probably than 3, but the 3 main ones that people buy are a diode laser, which is like a low power crafting laser. Then there's like a CO2 laser, which is what our Glowforge is. And then there's a fiber laser, which is like industrial.
Yeah, the old Big Daddy.
Yeah, and then the fiber lasers are like almost touching the material when they go off. So it's interesting, but I got to figure it out because I'd love to be able to. I'd love to be able to actually cut our own nickel. I think it'd be really cool. Anyways, I got to figure it out. I want to say Chai Battery Systems has something like that. Yeah, they've been cutting their own nickel for a minute. I'd love to know what machine they've got, and I don't know if it's like if it's an actual laser or if it's a what what is it? A plasma cutter.
Right.
That's different.
I think they have both.
They might have both, to be honest.
They got a little bit of everything.
They working with big bucks over there. I don't know how they got all their equipment.
Right.
But it's crazy.
God, there was a little post on the forums about them the other day. Some dude had got a battery from him and was not happy about it at all. Posted some stuff on the forums and they were like, "Hey, we're sorry that happened, man. We're sending you a new battery right now, dude, and made shit super right and fixed it all like the next day and everything." So
nice.
shout out to their customer service, man. They did something. They did.
Hey, batteries are tricky.
They are tricky. For sure. I don't hear very many complaints from Tri battery or JW batteries.
So here's the thing with Tri battery systems is they've got enough battery packs out there that of course you're going to hear something bad eventually.
For sure. Yeah.
It's just a volume game. Like, and that's what I think most people like forget about is once you sold 1,000 of something, you're going to have some negative feedback eventually, for sure. It's just the way it goes. But anyways, we won't drag it all on.
Yeah. Not talking shit about Chai.
No. They're really cool guys. They're really cool.
Good
I hope to see them in March.
Yep, for sure. We'd love to see them.
Anyways, we will see you guys in the next one.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Is that it?
I think that's it, man.
Hey, bye, guys.
See ya.